Tonight, taking down a school shooter.
Let's go!
Police released the body cam footage showing these shocking moments the suspect in the Nashville school shooting is taken out. What they're divulging about the guns the suspect had and what the shooter's former classmate is now saying. Plus,
we don't know the exact number, but we believe in thousands of amputees, and America has the best expertise in prosthetic treatment.
Giving back to those at war. In our prime focus tonight, we dive into the very real way Americans are helping Ukrainians on the front lines and here at home. And
it's still about interacting and speaking to your fans and speaking their language, and I think nobody does that better than country music.
Luke Bryan joins us, and he tells us how he is bringing that country on to viewers across the country with the newest season of American Idol.
Just pour a little more country on.
Oh, good evening, everybody. I'm Kana Whitworth in for Lindsay Davis tonight, and thank you so much for streaming with us. Now, we're following those stories and much more, including what is being called one of the deadliest events ever at a migrant detention center when a fire broke out during a protest. We'll have a report from the ground. Plus, why a judge now says Mike Pence has to testify before a grand jury in the Justice Department's investigation into efforts by former President Donald Trump to overturn the results of the 2020 election. And the Florida couple now being held at ransom in Haiti, and their family crying out for help. Our correspondents are fanned across the country covering those stories and more for us tonight. But of course, we begin with the heartbreak and the horror in Nashville, Tennessee. We also have the new police surveillance video of those heroic officers and their quick action to stop a senseless attack. But as we know tonight, even the quickest action couldn't save everyone at the Covenant School. We're going to show you that video here in just a minute. But first, the names and some of the faces of these innocent lives taken. Here's 61-year-old Mike Hill. He was a custodian at Covenant School. 6-year-old Catherine Kuntz. She was the head of the school. 61-year-old Cynthia Peak. She was a substitute teacher working there that Monday. And 9-year-old Haley Scruggs. Her dad saying the family simply heartbroken and remembering his daughter as such a gift. And 9-year-old Evelyn Dickhouse, her family describing her as a shining light in this world and asking tonight for space as they grieve. Also 9-year-old William Kinney. And so far this year, 59 children under the age of 12 have died by gunfire, 131 of them hurt. Gun violence is the leading cause of death in American children. And yet again tonight, many Americans are searching for answers and demanding change. Our Alex Perez is leading us off once again from Nashville.
Let's go!
Tonight, the heart-stopping body camera footage.
Metro Police!
Police charging into Covenant School under attack by an active shooter.
Keep pushing.
Running toward the gunfire.
Right.
To stop a massacre. Metropolitan Nashville Police Department say the former student and suspect, Audrey Hale, pulled up to this small Christian school around 10 a.m. Monday on a planned, calculated mission to kill. This surveillance video released by police shows Hale firing through glass side doors, beginning the deadly assault, killing custodian Mike Hill. Then, stalking the hallways, heavily armed, the 911 call coming in at 10:13.
They got a legit active shooter at a school.
First responders racing to the scene. Hale moving up to the second floor, firing multiple shots from these windows, striking police cruisers. The tactical team preparing to go in.
They just said they heard gunshots down there, and then upstairs are a bunch of kids.
Let's go!
The alarm blaring. Students' cubby holes lining the hallways.
Let's go!
Their artwork hanging on the walls.
Metro Police!
Engelbert and his fellow officers clearing the first classroom and a small bathroom.
Bathroom, small bathroom. Clear.
Down the hall, checking every door, rifles drawn. Through another entrance, Officer Michael Colazzo running through the school.
I'm with you.
Racing up to the second floor. Officers hearing the gunfire.
It's upstairs. It sounds like it's upstairs.
They encounter Audrey Hale in this common area. Both Engelbert and Colazzo fire. It's 10:27 a.m., 14 minutes after that first call.
There's multiple victims down inside the school. Shooter is down now as well.
Authorities saying without the bravery of those officers, the situation could have been much worse.
They heard gunfire and immediately ran to that.
Tonight, investigators asking why 28-year-old Audrey Hale targeted Covenant School, killing 3 innocent children and 3 adult staff members. Police saying Hale's parents said Hale was being treated for an emotional disorder and was under a doctor's care. Investigators discovering Hale had collected an arsenal, 7 guns from 5 local stores, all legally bought, including these 2 assault-style rifles and this 9mm handgun used in the attack. Searching Hale's home and car, authorities also finding detailed maps of the campus and writings Hale, a former student of Covenant School, left behind. But so far, the exact motive remains a mystery.
We have no evidence that individuals were specifically targeted. This school, this church building, was a target.
Hale, who graduated from Nashville's Nossi College of Art and Design in 2022, seen in this video talking about growing as an artist.
It's been hard, but it's also been an amazing experience.
We saw the devastating images, small children in their uniforms outside, moving single file, hand in hand. This young girl, terrified, in tears, hand pressed against a school bus window. And tonight in Nashville, a growing memorial to honor the victims of the senseless shooting. Mike Hill, 61, the school's custodian. Cynthia Peak, 61, a substitute teacher. And Catherine Coons, 60 years old, the beloved head of the school. And the children, William Kinney, 3rd grader Evelyn Dickhouse, her family saying, "We cannot believe this has happened. Evelyn was a shining light in this world." And Haley Scruggs, the pastor's daughter, Chad Scruggs, calling Haley such a gift. All of them just 9 years old.
And it's so tough to see all that. Alex Perez is joining us now from the scene again tonight. So, Alex, what more have police said about a possible motive here? We know they're going through what the suspect was writing.
Yeah, Kana, authorities say at this point it remains unclear if there were other possible targets, but say they did discover in those writings that several other locations were mentioned. Authorities also say they believe there could have been more victims, even just outside the school, had those officers not acted as quickly as they did. Kana?
Wow, they sure did. Alex, our thanks to you. And joining us now for more on this tragedy, I want to introduce you to Avriana Patton, who's a former middle school teammate of the Nashville shooter. Avriana, first off, we are so sorry for everything that your community is going through. I know you're there in Nashville. Tell me, what was your reaction initially when you heard that a shooting had happened?
I was just, well, when I heard about a shooting, I didn't even correlate the two. I just know that morning I had received that type of message and I tried to respond, encouraging words, but then I was just like, I screenshotted it to my dad and I was like, Dad, should I say something? And if so, what do I do? How do I respond to something like this? And he was like, call the suicide prevention. And then we went from there. Well, I went from there.
Right, and so tell me from the beginning here, I mean, you received a message through social media from the shooter, saying what?
She said that, would you like for me to read it verbatim?
Sure.
Okay. All right, she said, so basically that post I made on here about you, that was basically a suicide note. I'm planning to die today. This is not a joke. You'll probably hear about me on the news after I die. This is the last goodbye. I love you. See you again in another life, Audrey. And then There's more to it.
I mean, that's horrifying. And that message came to you at 9:57 in the morning. Is that right?
Yes.
And then you told your dad just a few minutes later?
I screenshotted it to him.
And then you called the suicide prevention hotline?
Yes.
And you're taking all these actions, and you were taking them quite quickly. Did you feel like you were doing it fast enough at the time?
Yeah, I was just doing what I was told on the phone.
Right. And so what did the suicide prevention hotline tell you?
They asked me, was I the person that needed the assistance? And if not, they would need the person that needed the process or assistance to be on the phone. And then they suggested me to call the sheriff's department.
So they pointed you to the sheriff's department, which you also called them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Around
Yes.
10:14.
Let me just confirm that for you. Just gonna confirm at sheriff's office at 10:13 a.m.
At 10:13. This is also the same time that police are responding to calls of shots fired at 10:13. Do you feel like the system fell apart here?
You know, I'm not here to point any fingers. All I know is here to tell my process, my story. This is what happened.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You acted quickly.
I just need solutions. You know, you know, when you receive a message like that, you know, how do you respond to something like that?
Well, it sounds to me like you did the right things. You went through the process. You took action immediately. You made the calls. You were concerned. You didn't brush it off, right? So now that we're 24 hours out, we know what happened. Again, you took all the steps. How are you feeling in the face of this tragic outcome, and what are you seeing in the community right now?
I mean, it's devastating, you know, like, it's mind blowing. Like, I'm just still trying to process it into my city. Like, I'm here with you. I'm walking this with you, you know. It's just devastating. It's truly devastating, like, unbelievable.
Why did the shooter reach out to you? I know that you played basketball together when you were younger. You weren't that close as adults, right? So why were you reached out to?
You know, I'm still trying to figure that out. You know, I'm asking God the same thing. Like, I just still don't. I don't know.
It's hard at a time like this, right? When we have so many more questions than we have answers.
Yeah, because it's just like, I'm just blown away. Like, I'm just like, I can't believe this. I truly can't. You know, and to find out, like, later it was tied to what I was calling about. It's just, like, crazy.
Right at the same time. Have you spoken with police since?
I have spoken with the investigation team, yes.
So you're working with them as they try to unpack this?
I spoke with them, yes.
Yeah. Avriana, I mean, thank you so much for your time. And I know that you feel like this is a heavy burden to bear right now, but we really appreciate you sharing your story and taking all the steps that you took and taking them so quickly.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And this latest shooting has once again renewed calls for debate on gun control measures from Democrats in Washington. Take a listen to President Biden earlier today.
And don't tell me we can't do more together. So I again call on Congress to pass the assault weapons ban. Pass it. This should not be a partisan issue. It's a common sense issue. They have to act now. And people say, why do I keep saying this if it's not happening? Because I want you to know who isn't doing it, who isn't helping, to put pressure on them.
Putting that pressure on. For more on this, I'm joined now by our senior congressional correspondent, Rachel Scott. So, Rachel, we're hearing this call for action from Democrats, including banning assault weapons, as you just heard there. Is there any realistic chance of that movement actually happening in Washington?
Look, Kana, the short answer is no. Republicans are not on board with banning assault weapons entirely. This is something that has been gone back and forth on here on Capitol Hill. Republicans have drawn a very hard line in the sand on this issue. They say that infringes on people's Second Amendment rights. They do not want to see assault weapons banned. And we've asked Republicans in the aftermath of yet another school shooting in this country if that's something that they would consider. And they have repeatedly told us that it is off the table, Kana.
Right, we hear there's enough laws in place. We just need better enforcement of them, right? But Congress did come together to pass some bipartisan legislation last summer. Remind us, what is in that? And also, what was left out? And then are there any measures where there could actually be negotiation happening right now?
Yes, and this was a bipartisan gun safety bill that was passed weeks after the Uvalde and Buffalo mass shootings. And it did a number of things. It enhanced background checks for gun buyers under the age of 21 to allow juvenile records to be screened. It also added funding for mental health, for school security. It also provided incentives for states to pass red flag laws that would keep firearms out of the hands of people that are considered dangerous, and close the so-called boyfriend loophole to keep firearms from people who are domestic abusers. This did not go as far as Democrats or the president wanted, but it was the most significant and substantial gun safety legislation passed here on Capitol Hill in decades. Still, there were a lot of things that were on the chopping block. Obviously, Democrats wanted that assault weapons ban. They also wanted universal background checks. They wanted to raise the age to purchase a firearm from 18 to 21. None of that happened. Republicans said they were simply just not on board for that. And it's worth mentioning here, Kana, that we have seen family after family come here to Capitol Hill pleading with lawmakers to do something. I remember the families from the Uvalde school shooting coming here and pleading with lawmakers in these hearings to act, to ban assault weapons across the board, to raise the legal age limit to purchase a firearm. And still, at this point, that is just not something that we can see get done on a bipartisan level, Kana.
All right, really important information. Thank you, Rachel Scott. And we head now to Mississippi, where residents there will be picking up the pieces of their lives for months, even years to come. And sadly, they're the lucky ones tonight. ABC News confirming a total of 21 tornadoes across 4 states, ravaging towns and communities. It was Rolling Fork taking the brunt of that, and that's where our Whit Johnson is reporting for us tonight.
Tonight, some 2,000 homes are damaged or destroyed in the wake of that tornado outbreak. And here in the small town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi, survivors and volunteers already working to rebuild, facing a harsh reality. The long road to recovery will take years.
This is the inside of a massive water tower that snapped in half and then spilled all over the ground here. And you can get a sense of the damage from above and the monumental task required to rebuild this town.
Joe Ray rode out the storm in her hallway.
That was the front porch.
This is the front porch.
I think maybe this was the front porch.
Her roof ripped off, now mangled in her front yard.
So you're still living here? Is that the bed that you've made?
Yes, I have places that I could go, but I have my cat and she can't go. So I'm staying with her.
So you would rather be here?
I would, because this is my home.
Joe telling me she's thankful for the volunteers who have flocked to her town, bringing food and much needed supplies.
Get him right over here.
Marty Graham and his friends here from Louisiana, preparing meals.
We just regular everyday folks that want to help.
The tornado outbreak claiming more than 20 lives across multiple states. In Hartselle, Alabama, friends and family remembering Kenneth Cooper, who died after storms crushed his trailer home.
Wow, it's devastating. Whit Johnson, thank you. ABC News now learning that there are some ongoing negotiations happening right now with the FBI in the case of the kidnapped couple in Haiti. Gene Dickens and his wife, Abigail Toussaint, have been missing now for more than a week. The two were visiting family in the Caribbean country, and they planned to attend a festival. But on their bus ride from Port-au-Prince, they were taken. Family members telling ABC News affiliate WPLG that the kidnappers are requesting $400,000 for the couple. Also tonight, we turn to what authorities are calling one of the deadliest events ever at a migrant detention facility and the growing calls for the Biden administration to bear responsibility for implementing and proposing plans that restrict asylum, pushing migrants back to these unsafe border towns. ABC's Maria Villarreal is reporting tonight from Mexico.
Tonight, Mexican authorities investigating a massive fire at a migrant facility near the border that left at least 40 dead. Disturbing surveillance video being investigated by authorities appearing to show men locked inside a Ciudad Juarez detention center as the room fills with smoke. Mexican President López Obrador says they believe the fire was ignited Monday night by some of the migrants who feared deportation, saying the men propped mattresses against the shelter door and set them on fire.
Muy triste que esto.
Obrador adding they did not imagine that it would cause this terrible misfortune. Mylar blankets covering the dead, 28 seriously hurt, Viangeli's husband among them. And tonight, many still waiting for answers.
Yesterday at 12 is the last time he heard from his brother.
People outside that building desperate for answers, asking us if we had any information. The government saying it could take up to a week before they give out anything about the victims or the investigation. Kana?
Maria, thank you. That happening just a short walk from the border. Wow. We have new criminal charges now to talk about against Sam Bankman-Fried. They were unsealed today. So Bankman-Fried, who's been free on a $250 million bond and under court orders to live with his parents, tried to contact current and former FTX employees. And as a result, he has been put under new bail conditions where his parents have agreed to not allow him to use their phones and laptops and to install monitoring software on those devices that will actually photograph the device's user every 5 minutes. Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty to 8 criminal charges. Also tonight, Adnan Syed, whose case garnered national attention as the subject of that serial podcast, has now had his murder conviction reinstated. A Maryland appeals court made this decision after finding that a lower court violated the victim's family the right to attend a hearing on vacating the conviction. Syed's attorney releasing a statement to ABC News saying, for the time being, Adnan remains a free man. And a federal judge has ordered former Vice President Mike Pence to testify in the Justice Department's investigation into the attempts to overturn the 2020 election. Here's Chief Washington correspondent Jonathan Karl.
Both Mike Pence and Donald Trump had argued that the former vice president should not be compelled to testify about the events leading up to the January 6th attack. The federal judge rejected both arguments. The judge's order makes it far more likely that Pence will testify under oath about Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. Pence recently told me he would testify if the court so ordered.
We're going to respect the decisions of the court, and it may take us all the way to the highest court in the land, but I promise you, we'll respect the decisions of the court.
Pence is a central figure in the January 6th investigation. Trump pressured him to use his role as the presiding officer in Congress that day to overturn Joe Biden's election victory. And when he refused, some in the pro-Trump mob that attacked the Capitol called for his execution. In an interview with me, Trump seemed to justify those chants.
No, you heard those chants. That was terrible. I mean, those, He could have, well, the people were very angry.
Pence first expressed his anger towards Trump about his actions that day in an interview with David when pressed about the tweet he sent while watching the attack on the Capitol from the White House, offering a hint of what he might say before the grand jury.
He knew you were at the Capitol, that lawmakers were at the Capitol. What do you make of that?
Well, but the president's words were reckless, and his actions were reckless. The president's words that day at the rally endangered me and my family and everyone at the Capitol building.
And John Carl is joining us now. I'm so glad that you're here with us this evening. And it may not come as a surprise, right, that Trump's legal team is objecting to this as well. At the very least, hoping that his testimony will be privileged, citing their executive privilege.
I mean, Trump does not want Mike Pence to testify. And they have fought mightily to prevent that from happening, citing executive privilege. This is the idea that a president has the right to get confidential advice from his advisors, in this case, the vice president. The judge flatly rejected that. At the core of the argument here is that executive privilege belongs to the president, not the former president. And Joe Biden's made it clear he doesn't mind them testifying. He wants them to testify.
Well, and Trump's team isn't only saying this about Pence testifying, right? They're trying to keep other people from testifying as well.
He cited executive privilege for a whole bunch of other senior officials, including most prominently Mark Meadows. And you remember, this was also a battle that played out before the January 6th committee. But what's happening now is this has, the January 6th committee ran out of time. The special counsel has pressed this, and now the judge ruled not only that executive privilege doesn't apply to Pence, doesn't apply to Mark Meadows, doesn't apply to this whole bunch of other top Trump aides, setting the stage for all of them to be compelled to testify. Not good news for Trump in this case.
Wow, every day a new page seems to turn with this, and you've done such a great job covering it for
Multiple investigations, and they all seem to be coming to a head right now.
Wow. Our John Carl, always thanks to him. Still, we have a lot to get to here tonight on Prime. Coming up, we'll show you this moment that a loose tire sends a car absolutely flying into the air. Wow. Plus, I'm excited about this. My sit down with country superstar Luke Bryan. But up next, one way that Americans are helping soldiers returning from the front lines in Ukraine. Our own Lindsay Davis has that story after the break.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas, ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
And welcome back. After a year of bombings and on-the-ground gun battles, Ukrainians continue their valiant fight for their nation from the claws of Russia. The small military has shown the world that they are willing to sacrifice everything. And in tonight's Prime Focus, we tell you about how Americans are helping in more ways than one through the story of 2 brave Ukrainian soldiers who have given and lost so much for their country. Here's our Lindsay Davis.
Thousands of miles from the battlefields of Ukraine, 2 Ukrainian soldiers board an elevator for a life-changing experience after the lives they once knew took a dramatic turn. Here at Staten Island University Hospital, 32-year-old Roman and 50-year-old Ola will get critical help, the ability to walk again. Both lost a leg from landmines while defending their homeland of Ukraine. They pull off their fatigues and put on their prosthetics. Physical therapists check their alignment.
Just looking at him, his alignment seems like he seems a little tipped this way.
Then it's time to get to work.
Wow. I mean, this is phenomenal.
Marveling at Roman's quick progress, ditching the crutch, then attempting the stairs.
Very good.
Now it's Ola's turn.
I don't want to say he's a natural, but he's a natural.
The military reservist makes several trips around the gym as Ola tries the stairs. We wanted to know what Roman thought about being so far from home.
When I saw all this, he goes, with my own 2 eyes, the vision is amazing.
That's Dr. Eugene Holuka, translating for Roman. We're told Roman lived and worked in Kyiv doing heating and ventilation when the war broke out. He volunteered to serve and was injured while performing a mission in the Zaporizhia region. His family was overcome with worry.
Of course, they were traumatized over the situation. They were calling him constantly.
We ask him if he feels like a hero.
No. I'm a regular guy. I want to go back to my normal life, like before the war. Do what I wanted to do. He wants to skate, run.
When asked if he would serve on the front lines for his country again, a powerful answer.
Ola is married and has a 23-year-old son. The avid fisherman and traveler was injured during a combat mission near Davidov Broad. Despite all he's lost, his sense of humor remains intact.
He looked down and he said, "Oh, thank God it's only one."
Dmitry Shevchenko, a licensed physical therapist who works with the organization Kind Deeds, translates for us what was going through Ola's mind when he was injured.
Ну і, звісно, було трошки незручно, тому що підвів товаришів.
He was a little uncomfortable because he let his comrades down.
But he refuses to stay down, never even considering the notion that he wouldn't walk again.
Ну, якщо одна нога, то і звісно.
If he had one leg, then yeah.
Не буду ходити, то буду пригати.
If I couldn't walk, I would jump.
Ola and Roman are just the latest Ukrainian patients to receive help from the nonprofit Kind Deeds, a nonprofit focused on helping wounded soldiers get their lives back. In the past few months, 11 have been outfitted with prosthetics, but they have a waiting list of over 200. Ola and Roman are fortunate.
So the initial two guys were brought here on credit card points to save the money. We found a family that was willing to host them here in Staten Island for 2 months. We built a team of prostitutes, and we continue building a team of rehab professionals.
Dmitry, a physical therapist with Kind Deeds who moved here from Kyiv in his early teens, knows the reality that much more has to be done.
We don't know exact number, but we believe in thousands of amputees, and America has the best expertise in prosthetic treatment.
Well, I'm an American with Ukrainian descent. You actually see what's going on in Ukraine. There's no end in sight. It's one-sided. The war could easily end just for one person to say stop. Okay, they're waiting for him.
Roman and Ola have many weeks of rehab ahead before they can return home, but there is no dimming their spirits.
Маю право на це, тому що я вже досвідчений, я маю показувати приклад.
I don't have the right to be depressed. I'm experienced. I have to show an example to younger generations.
Tonight, they have a message for the American people.
The things that you see in the news, you're seeing the truth in the news. You know what's going on. People shouldn't be dying. I can't tell you anything more. It's emotional.
Just incredible bravery. And our thanks to Lindsay Davis for that. Still, we have a lot more to get to here in our program. Coming up, how Bad Bunny made history with Time's first cover entirely in Spanish and his upcoming Coachella performance. But up next, the women's Final Four is set. From Baylor to UConn to South Carolina, the first behind March Madness is up ahead in our By the Numbers.
So much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
in Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
Brooke Shields, the most photographed woman in the world.
Iconic American beauty. A sexualized child model.
Exploitation. Vulnerable. She was catapulted into the world of adult sexuality.
I'm amazed that I survived any of it.
What happened to her isn't really about her, it's just about women.
I was just born with this faith. I wanted to think about the things that could have happened without beauty.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. But a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! This mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what people don't see during the commercial break. Right, they don't. What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
What is artificial intelligence?
That kind of rocked my world for a little bit.
It's 100 times more powerful than even the social media.
Does it have a soul?
This is about our vulnerability.
It feels like she's a real person when I talk to her.
What was it like saying I love you for the first time? You describe actually getting intimate and how amazing it felt for you.
Yeah.
The AI Revolution. Impact by Nightline. Now streaming on Hulu. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
And welcome back. With last night's matchups in the women's NCAA tournament, the Final Four now set in both the men's and women's brackets. So let's take a look by the numbers. #1 overall seed and defending champion South Carolina have advanced to their 3rd straight Final Four, along with 1 seed Virginia Tech, 2 seed Iowa, and 3 seed LSU. So now 36-0 on the season. South Carolina will next face Iowa, who are making their first Final Four appearance since 1993. And let's not overlook Iowa. They are led by star Caitlin Clark, who is the first player in NCAA history, men or women, with 900 points and 300 assists in a single season. She also made history with the first ever 40-point triple-double game in NCAA tournament history. Now, on the men's side, it may be the most improbable Final Four of all time, with no #1 seeds making it past the Sweet 16 for the first time in tournament history. And 3 teams will be making their Final Four debuts for the first time since 1970, with Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, and Miami reaching the promised land. So #9 seed, Florida Atlantic University, had the most wins going into March Madness of any tournament team, but remarkably had never won an NCAA tournament game before this season. And it's been 9 years since 4th-seeded UConn made its last Final Four, but it has the most experience of any of the remaining men's teams by far, with 5 previous Final Four appearances, and they've won the national title 4 times that they've played in it. Now, the women's Final Four kicks off on Friday night on ESPN, and the men will take to the floor on Saturday. It's a good time. We have a lot more to get to here tonight on Prime. Coming up, we're going to show you these terrifying moments. A single car tire bursts, and it causes another car to flip into the air. The whole thing caught on camera. Plus, we take a look at this. There's a scarcity of Black video game creators. We'll talk about what's being done to change that. Also, country star Luke Bryan sits down with us to talk about life, music, and of course, American Idol.
And it's still about interacting and speaking to your fans and speaking their language, and I think nobody does that better than country music. The core of it all, though, I think country music loves, we just love our fans a little bit more than your average.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors. How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
With so much happening these days, it's hard to keep up.
Things change hour by hour, minute by minute.
The historic weather that's now unfolding.
The worries on Wall Street.
We're bringing you the Right Now. Been a nationwide teacher shortage.
The Right Now look at the day ahead. An alert this morning for dog owners and the key takeaways from the biggest stories.
World News Now and America This Morning, America's #1 early morning news.
Today does feel a little different. Early mornings on ABC News Live. This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
What is artificial intelligence?
That kind of rocked my world for a little bit.
It's 100 times more powerful than even the social media.
Does it have a soul?
This is about our vulnerability.
It feels like she's a real person when I talk to her.
What was it like saying I love you for the first time? You describe actually getting intimate and how amazing it felt for you.
Yeah.
The AI revolution. Impact by Nightline. Now streaming on Hulu.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're gonna love it.
13 women opened their doors to the man who would end their lives.
Truth and Lies, The Boston Strangler, the new true crime podcast series. Listen now wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Boston Strangler, starring Keira Knightley, streaming on Hulu.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
And welcome back. Tonight, federal safety investigators are looking into one of the most popular electric car makers in America. We also have a major car recall to tell you about. Also, one history-making time cover. These stories and more in tonight's rundown.
Ohio's Attorney General is putting Cigna, Humana, and Prime Therapeutics on notice, alleging a conspiracy to keep drug prices unreasonably high.
It's a modern form of barely legal gangsterism.
AG David Yost filing a lawsuit claiming pharmacy benefit managers linked to those companies, or PBMs, the so-called middlemen of the industry, have set up a subsidiary in Switzerland to share drug pricing and rebate information with competitors, pushing prices higher. It's what President Biden railed against during the State of the Union.
We pay more for prescription drugs than any major nation on earth.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas is testifying before the Senate Judiciary Committee. He's telling lawmakers the recent asylum guidelines are helping limit the number of migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, and Nicaragua crossing into the U.S. illegally. Mayorkas also told lawmakers the administration is adding resources and funding to help with the influx of migrants at the border.
Federal safety regulators have opened an investigation into possible seatbelt problems with Teslas. There have been some complaints about front belts not properly connected at the factory.
Honda is recalling more than 330,000 vehicles due to an issue with side view mirrors. Heating pads behind the mirrors may not be bonded properly, which could lead to glass falling out, increasing the risk of a crash.
Artist Becky G earned the Best Latin Pop Reggaeton Song of the Year iHeart Award for her hit with Karol G, Mami.
No me vuelvas a llamar, acabo de celular.
She hit the red carpet solo at the iHeartRadio Music Awards after her fiancé Sebastián Leggett apologized for disrespecting her. The midfielder for the professional soccer club FC Dallas shared a lengthy statement on Instagram in response to accusations of cheating on the megastar. Becky G posted her win on Instagram with the caption, "No words, but thank you." Bad Bunny is on the cover of Time magazine, debuting the magazine's first ever Spanish cover. This comes as a Boricua artist is the first to receive an Album of the Year nomination at the Grammys for a Spanish language album. It is El Mundo de Bad Bunny, or Bad Bunny's world, and we're just living in it. Wepa!
All right, also tonight we have a wild car crash. It was caught on camera to show you. This happened in California. So watch this video. It shows a tire just detached from that truck right there, and then it goes under that other car in a nearby lane. See right there? Car goes flying into the air, flips upside down. A spokesperson with the California Highway Patrol says the driver of the car suffered only minor injuries. It's unbelievable it didn't crash into another car. Also, more of us than ever are playing video games. And while the gamers are becoming more diverse, the games themselves have been a little slower to reflect their growing range of players. But now the industry is making an effort to catch up. So here's our Justin Finch with a closer look at the changing face of video game creators and developers.
On the field of Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium, brother and sister Ernest and J.C. Holmes making a play for the future.
It feels incredible. We have been dreaming about this day for months.
The siblings teaming with fellow black professionals in tech, launching the nonprofit Code House, fire a new generation through efforts like Tech Exposure Day.
On top of Code House, I work at Google as a technical program manager. And I never forget my first day there. When I look around, there weren't many other people that looked like me, that looked like us. And I just knew that I wanted to be a part of the change to make something amazing happen.
I can't hear you. Code House inviting 3,000 Atlanta area high schoolers to meet with insiders from big companies like Google and Netflix, showing black and students of color they too can have bright futures in tech and gaming.
You're going to see diversity in all types of gaming, from the controllers that we use to the storylines that are being told to the characters that you're seeing. More seats at the table means more quality gaming for us and experiences.
Globally, the video game industry is soaring, valued at more than $100 billion and growing. But diversity is lagging. A 2021 report from the International Game Developers Association finds only 4% of creators identify as black or of African heritage. At Spelman College's Innovation Lab, black women are preparing to rise into those roles.
I'm super optimistic, seeing them go off into the world to make their own games.
Spelman senior Anetha Evans has already built several games herself in the lab and was among the winners at the first ever HBCU Game Jam. Spelman invited students from more than a dozen historically black colleges and universities for a weekend crash course in video game development.
When we did a poll, 65% of the students that showed up never did anything with game design or development. So they were all just interested to learn about it and to put a game together.
It was my first time actually doing any kind of overnight, intense game-making session.
After winning honors at Game Jam, Spelman computer science major Madeline Brown looks forward to connecting the world through her games.
I wanted to be able to show a black woman's experience through gaming. And so I feel like gaming allows for people to step in somebody else's shoes. And so it builds empathy with communities that you oftentimes wouldn't have as much interaction with.
Rickham Game Studio co-founders Brian Ollison and Kim Presley test driving their new follow-up game to their debut Kingdom of Kuru.
Never even occurred to me till I was older that, wow, we're lacking in this space. Like, there's none of us in these games.
So Brian and Kim now carefully craft the kinds of Black characters in their games that they wish they saw growing up. That work quickly making an impact. The two sharing this photo of a little girl who saw herself in their character, Kara.
She was pointing to Kara, and she was like, she looks like me. And then that's when we were like, this is the moment. This is what we're living for right here, just to see that she has that representation.
It was just like, wow, she just sat there in front of our sign and was pointing at the character. And we actually had someone reach out to us on Instagram to do cosplay for one of the characters.
Kim and Brian say including the ability for players to create characters that reflect themselves is critical and proven by the Harry Potter-inspired Hogwarts Legacy game. Now a huge hit with Black players who are showcasing their custom-made avatars and fan-inspired creations on social media.
You realize the character customization was more of just a slider for skin color, just making it darker, but skin color is more than just darkness. Culture is more than just turning down the opacity.
It sure is. And our thanks to Justin Finch and our producer, Tess Negussi, for that fantastic report. Now tonight, listen, let's talk about some country royalty here, right? Luke Bryan. Okay, he's had a sprawling career. He's had 30 #1 hits on country radio, and he's launching a 36-city Country On tour featuring some up-and-coming artists as well. And now the husband and father is entering his 6th year on the hit show American Idol. As you know, on Idol, Bryan sits on a panel with 3 music icons. So these people all sit together and they help dreams come true. And today, I got to sit down with a multifaceted star and talk about his roots, his family, and the future of country music. Let me tell you that I have been a fan of yours for a very long time.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, like, saw you play Rain is a Good Thing at the Idaho State Fair kind of fan.
That's the way back right there. So
I knew every word. I sang it loud and proud.
Rain is a good thing.
It's been fantastic to watch your career grow and to see you on American Idol.
Right.
This is six years now?
The 6th year, yes. The last one of the performance challenge rounds.
I can't make you love me if you don't.
God, perfect. It's flown by. I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around 6 seasons. When I was offered Idol, I did call Blake Shelton and Keith Urban, and I said, what do you think, guys? And they were both like, you know, anytime you can get a chance to do something like this. So I took it, and it's just been it's been a real amazing journey. Being in front of a camera so much, I mean,
Sure.
you learn a lot. And then to be able to work with Lionel and Katie and Ryan, you know, to not have to fake anything with them, it's...
Right, it's a real genuine...
Oh, it has to be. I mean,
cast here.
I get when I'm out on the street and somebody walks up, they say, you know, we can really tell that you and your judges and y'all really enjoy it, and we look after the kids. They can tell that we put a lot of passion in the handlement of all these kids that are standing in front of us. I think it has to be your role in this business. I mean, when I look at how you talk about, I mean, the Idaho State Fair till present day, I'm not one of these people that want to hold my information in a tactful manner to where I can stay. You know, I like to help people along. If I can give somebody some advice to where I know it'll make maybe their life a little easier, a little less stressful.
And then you're doing it on Idol. But I also feel like you're doing it in actuality, right? With all these people, these up-and-coming stars that you are bringing on your tour.
Yeah, it was an interesting, it was a new kind of thought. I guess I get a little inspired by being around all these kids.
Oh, yeah?
At American Idol, but nothing is more inspiring than getting around people that are new in the business, because they got the spark, they got the twinkle in their eye.
Yeah.
They got the drive and the want. I look at this business, I've had fun at every level. I mean, when I was in the 15-passenger van pulling a trailer with my sound system, that was fun. So to be able to see these younger artists from all walks of life come out and be a part of my tour is pretty special stuff.
Well, and they're seeing you on tour. They also are seeing you do this Las Vegas residency.
Right.
But they're also seeing you being a father
Right.
and a husband, and there are these young kids watching you operate like that. I mean, they're learning a lot more than just music. Would you agree?
Well, I hope so. And I mean, I remember standing on the side of the stage. Tim McGraw, I opened for Tim McGraw one time. And I remember standing beside the stage, and I was like, you know, that's kind of what a superstar looks like. I've always said I'm most happiest when I'm out on the road and my whole family's out. It really feels good to be able to go play. And when you're out there touring by yourself, you're always kind of yearning for home a little bit. So whenever I can get the wife and my boys out, it's really special.
As a country music fan, you know, my entire life, it's interesting for me when I hear people say, oh, country music is now becoming more mainstream. Because for me, it was just always a staple, right? But I do think that there is some truth to that there is a little bit more mainstream. And are you seeing a change in sort of what classifies as country music?
Country girl, shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me, girl. Shake it for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think people get really on the off or defensive about the style of country that you're into. And yeah, country is accepted everywhere. A kid from South Georgia coming up to Maine and Northern California and having these big crowds, it really showed me that country music's able to hit and touch everyone. But through all that, yeah, country is mainstream, but then there's so many internal segments of country. But I think at the end of the day, the beauty of the whole, it's still always about a great song, a great artist, and it's still about interacting and speaking to your fans and speaking their language, and I think nobody does that better than country music. So it's a special thing to be a part of, and at the core of it all, though, I think country music we just love our fans a little bit more than your average.
I married a man from Louisiana.
I hear you.
There is something about Southern men. It's fantastic. There's a pride and also a humbleness and a streak of gentleman in there. It's really unique about Southern men. How do you think that has really helped you and propelled you in your career to keep you grounded at the same time?
Oh, I think it's one of the most important elements of why I was able to become successful when you look at manners and humility and being raised. Yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, and I needed every angle I could get to get started in this business. But I think being raised, obviously in Georgia, and my parents just instilled, just being humble and a hard work ethic.
Yes.
You know.
That is so important right now.
I think more than ever, and I'm not one of these that, you know, some people are always like, oh, those were the good old days, and it'll never be like that. But I instill this in my children. I mean, we're really on them about humility and manners and taking the high road and being polite and showing grace and forgiveness. And at the end of the day, trying to be one of the hardest workers out there. I think when you put all that stuff into a, let's just say a gumbo, because your man's from Louisiana.
Okay.
But, you know, when you put all that in the mix, I think it really sets you up to leave really good impressions on people. I think at the end of the day, everybody's amazing, beautiful, wonderful people. We just have little nuances about us that are different. But it's been fun to be able to travel around and gain a lot of knowledge about this beautiful country of ours.
Oh, I'm into that. Maybe you should go start a career in politics.
No, I will not.
I mean, was it obvious that I loved that interview? American Idol airs Sundays and Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern on ABC, and then it streams the next day on Hulu. And that is our show for this hour. I'm Kana Whitworth. Stay tuned to ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thank you so much for streaming with us. Coming up in the next hour, the desperate rescue efforts underway after a landslide in Ecuador. And it's a street known for sunny days, friendly neighbors, and now a historic addition.
so much at stake in our world right now, we wanted to thank you for your trust and for making ABC News America's #1 news.
And thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital, destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
You never know what you're going to get on this show. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Yes, Whoopi! Is this mic on? Can you hear me out there?
Behind the scenes is always a better show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's what people don't see during the commercial break.
Right, they don't.
What happened?
I had no idea really what I was getting myself into.
That day that we walked out, I treasure that day. I couldn't sit there.
You're doing good, Joy. You're doing good.
Oh, yeah, baby. It was crazy.
Behind the Table. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
What is artificial intelligence?
That kind of rocked my world for a little bit.
It's 100 times more powerful than even the social media.
Does it have a soul?
This is about our vulnerability.
It feels like she's a real person when I talk to her.
What was it like saying I love you for the first time? You describe actually getting intimate and how amazing it felt for you.
Yeah.
The AI Revolution. Impact by Nightline. Now streaming on Hulu.
Reporting from Monterey Park, California, I'm Robin Roberts. Wherever the story is, we're going to take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Kana Whitworth, and thank you so much for streaming with us. And we are monitoring several developments here at ABC News at this hour, starting with the fact that ABC News has learned there are some ongoing negotiations right now with the FBI in the case of a kidnapped couple in Haiti. Gene Dickens and his wife, Abigail Toussaint, have been missing now for more than a week. The two were visiting family in the country, and they planned to attend a festival there. But authorities say that they were on a bus that was hijacked by local gangs that are now demanding money from their family. Also tonight, new criminal charges against Sam Bankman-Fried were unsealed today. Bankman-Fried, who's been free on a $250 million bond and under court orders to live with his parents, tried to contact current and former FTX employees. So as a result, he's been put under new bail conditions where his parents have agreed to not allow him to use their phones and laptops and to install monitoring software on those devices that will actually photograph the device's user every 5 minutes. Bankman-Fried has pleaded not guilty to 8 criminal charges. Also, Adnan Syed, whose case garnered national attention as the subject of the Serial podcast, has had his murder conviction reinstated. A Maryland appeals court made the decision after finding that a lower court violated the victim's family's right to attend a hearing on vacating this conviction. Syed, who's now 41, had been serving a life sentence for the past 23 years. That's more than half his life since his arrest in 1999. And now tonight, to the heartbreak and the horror in Nashville, Tennessee, and the new police surveillance video of those heroic officers and their quick action to stop a senseless attack. But as we know tonight, Even the quickest action couldn't save everyone at the Covenant School. Alex Perez reports tonight from Nashville.
Let's go!
Tonight, the heart-stopping body camera footage.
Metro Police!
Police charging into Covenant School under attack by an active shooter.
Keep pushing.
Running toward the gunfire.
Right.
To stop a massacre. Metropolitan Nashville Police Department say the former student and suspect, Audrey Hale, pulled up to this small Christian school around 10 a.m. Monday on a planned, calculated mission to kill. This surveillance video released by police shows Hale firing through glass side doors, beginning the deadly assault, killing custodian Mike Hill. Then, stalking the hallways, heavily armed, the 911 call coming in at 10:13.
They got a legit active shooter at a school.
First responders racing to the scene. Hale moving up to the second floor, firing multiple shots from these windows, striking police cruisers. The tactical team preparing to go in.
They just said they heard gunshots down there, and then upstairs are a bunch of kids.
Let's go!
The alarm blaring. Students' cubby holes lining the hallways.
Let's go.
Their artwork hanging on the walls.
Metro Police!
Engelbert and his fellow officers clearing the first classroom and a small bathroom.
Bathroom, small bathroom. Clear.
Down the hall, checking every door, rifles drawn. Through another entrance, Officer Michael Colazzo running through the school.
I'm with you.
Racing up to the second floor. Officers hearing the gunfire.
I think it's upstairs. It sounds like it's upstairs.
They encounter Audrey Hale in this common area. Both Engelbert and Colazzo fire. It's 10:27 a.m., 14 minutes after that first call.
There's multiple victims down inside the school. Shooter is down now as well.
Authorities saying without the bravery of those officers, the situation could have been much worse.
They heard gunfire and immediately ran to that.
Tonight, investigators asking why 28-year-old Audrey Hale targeted Covenant School, killing 3 innocent children and 3 adult staff members. Police saying Hale's parents said Hale was being treated for an emotional disorder and was under a doctor's care. Investigators discovering Hale had collected an arsenal, 7 guns from 5 local stores, all legally bought, including these 2 assault-style rifles and this 9mm handgun used in the attack. Searching Hale's home and car, authorities also finding detailed maps of the campus and writings Hale, a former student of Covenant School, left behind. But so far, the exact motive remains a mystery.
We have no evidence that individuals were specifically targeted. This school, this church building, was a target.
Hale, who graduated from Nashville's Nosy College of Art and Design in 2022, seen in this video talking about growing as an artist.
It's been hard, but it's also been an amazing experience.
Paige Patton, one of Hale's former basketball teammates, is sharing chilling direct messages she says Hale sent her the morning of the shooting. Hale allegedly writing, "One day this will make more sense. I've left more than enough evidence behind." Patton says she tried to get Hale help, but that was only minutes before the shooting.
My heart is I'm speechless.
We saw the devastating images, small children in their uniforms outside, moving single file, hand in hand. This young girl, terrified, in tears, hand pressed against a school bus window. Today at the White House, a frustrated President Biden said he's done everything he can through executive action, saying Congress must act.
But Congress has to act. The majority of the American people think having assault weapons is bizarre. It's a crazy idea. We're against that. And so I think that Congress should be passing an assault weapons ban. I want to remind you, the last time we passed the assault weapons ban, violent shootings went down. Mass shootings went down. For how many years it was? 9 years. So what do you do? So I can't do anything except plead with the Congress to act reasonably.
And tonight in Nashville, a growing memorial to honor the victims of the senseless shooting. Mike Hill, 61, the school's custodian. Cynthia Peak, 61, a substitute teacher. And Catherine Coons, 60 years old, the beloved head of the school. And the children, William Kinney, third grader Evelyn Dickhouse, her family saying, "We cannot believe this has happened. Evelyn was a shining light in this world." And Hallie Scruggs, the pastor's daughter. Chad Scruggs calling Hallie such a gift. All of them just 9 years old.
And our thanks to you tonight, Alex Perez. We also just heard the police chief say that this shooter purchased 7 guns legally. I want now to bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, were there any red flags here that were missed?
Well, Kana, the police chief says no one alerted his department about this shooter, who had no criminal record, which meant all 7 guns bought by the killer were bought legally. But, Kana, there were so many red flags. The shooter was under a doctor's care for a mental health disorder, a situation concerning enough that Hale's parents did not believe Hale should have access to any guns. But somehow in the parents' home, the shooter was hiding an arsenal of 7 guns. All the more frustrating, the killer allegedly told a friend minutes before the attack about a suicide mission. Again, the system failed innocent victims, especially those defenseless children. Kana.
All right, Pierre, we know that that friend made several calls and alerted several people after that. Pierre, our thanks to you. We head now to Mississippi, where residents there are still trying to pick up the pieces of their lives left behind. ABC News now confirming that a total of 21 tornadoes across 4 states ravaging towns and communities. And it was Rolling Fork that was hit the most brutally. And that is where we find Whit Johnson reporting for us tonight.
Tonight, some 2,000 homes are damaged or destroyed in the wake of that tornado outbreak. And here in the small town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi, survivors and volunteers already working to rebuild, facing a harsh reality. The long road to recovery will take years.
This is the inside of a massive water tower that snapped in half and then spilled all over the ground here. And you can get a sense of the damage from above and the monumental task required to rebuild this town.
Joe Ray rode out the storm in her hallway.
That was the front porch.
This was the front porch.
I think maybe this was the front porch.
Her roof ripped off, now mangled in her front yard.
So you're still living here? Is that the bed that you've made?
Yes. I have places that I could go, but I have my cat, and she can't go. So I'm staying with her.
Or you would rather be here?
I would, because this is my home.
Joe telling me she's thankful for the volunteers who have flocked to her town, bringing food and much-needed supplies.
Get them right over here.
Marty Graham and his friends here from Louisiana, preparing meals.
We just regular everyday folks that want to help.
The tornado outbreak claiming more than 20 lives across multiple states. In Hartselle, Alabama, friends and family remembering Kenneth Cooper, who died after storms crushed his trailer home.
Oh, that's so hard. Whit Johnson, our thanks to you. And tonight, parts of the South, including Mississippi, may be in the bullseye again later this week as a new cross-country storm fueled by the atmospheric river is taking shape yet again. ABC's chief meteorologist Ginger Z is in Soda Springs, California, expected to get walloped with more snow. You're timing this all out for us, Ginger, as you're standing there in all that snow and more is coming down.
Yes, we are in the heart of this latest atmospheric river, now more than a dozen this season. I mean, Kana, look at the wall. It is incredible right here. This is all snow. That's not a mountain. It's just what has added up this season. In this spot, they've had nearly 60 feet for this season, puts them at about second snowiest on record. The wild numbers just keep adding up, and what a pattern we have. So let's dive into the maps because it'll keep happening in the next couple of hours here in Northern California. But as this slides south, Los Angeles will even get into some of the thunderstorms. The damaging winds even could be, 40, 50, 60 miles per hour. So you could see more trees down, even some power outages, which we've also seen reported around the Bay Area. Then it slides over the Rockies. Denver gets some snow, but then it erupts. It's Friday when I think anybody really from Springfield, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois, right through St. Louis, Paducah, Little Rock need to be on high alert because we could see damaging winds and isolated tornadoes. Chicago back to Shreveport, Silver City. That's one of those spots that got hit so hard in the risk. And so we are keeping an eye this week to kick off the weekend for another severe event. Unfortunately, this pattern sticks for next week, too, Kana.
It's just incredible to see you there. And Ginger, if we go back to the tornadoes now in the South, what do we know about how climate change is impacting these supercell storms that then lead to these tornadoes?
You know, most research will show us and tells us that we know a whole lot more about the attribution of human-induced climate change to things like drought or extreme heat and cold. Tornadoes and severe storms tend to be on the lower end of confidence, but a relatively new study that was in the AMS journal, the bulletin that we all read, it's, my husband calls it my Geek Weekly, it came up with this map, and I don't know if you can see there, but the research shows that we are seeing seasonal differences, so a seasonal shift, but also a geographical shift in where supercells, which is a rotating thunderstorm, the kind that produce tornadoes, move. And so what it's showing you is the historical on the left, and then what we can expect to amplify by human-induced climate change on a high-emission scenario on the right. So more in northeast Texas, right through the Ozarks. Look at Mississippi, Alabama, even places like Wisconsin, the western Great Lakes, getting more supercells, which mean you could have more tornadoes.
Oh, this is incredible. And Ginger, leave it to you to show your range, stand in a historic snowstorm, and tell us about tornadoes. You're amazing. We appreciate you.
Right. Thank you, Kana.
Also tonight, we turn to what authorities are calling one of the deadliest events ever at a migrant detention facility, and the growing calls for the Biden administration to bear some responsibility here for implementing and then proposing plans that restrict asylum, pushing migrants back to these unsafe border towns. ABC's Maria Villarreal reporting tonight from Mexico.
Tonight, Mexican authorities investigating a massive fire at a migrant facility near the border that left at least 40 dead. Disturbing surveillance video being investigated by authorities appearing to show men locked inside a Ciudad Juarez detention center as the room fills with smoke. Mexican President López Obrador says they believe the fire was ignited Monday night by some of the migrants who feared deportation, saying the men propped mattresses against the shelter door and set them on fire.
Muy triste que esto.
Obrador adding they did not imagine that it would cause this terrible misfortune. Mylar blankets covering the dead, 28 seriously hurt, Viangeli's husband among them. And tonight, many still waiting for answers.
Yesterday at 12 was the last time he heard from his brother.
Wow, and Maria Villarreal, thank you so much. We have a lot more to get to here tonight. Coming up, rescue operations are underway after a landslide buried homes in Ecuador, plus the World Cup for grannies. Yeah, you've probably never heard of it. Also, we speak with the author who argues the decades-old John Birch Society has influenced one particular political party and has fueled the rise of one of the country's most divisive presidents.
Whenever news breaks,
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
Bring them on. If only there was a place in the morning to start my day. With a smile, somewhere to help me get in the know. A place as spectacular as, well, me.
I think we might know a place, right, guys?
Bring your friends. Oh, wait, there is.
Good morning, America.
GMA, 7A, every day. Boom, boom, boom.
Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, Robin. Good morning, America. How are you?
Boom. Now that's how you start your day, people.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from Manhattan, I'm Diane Macedo. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
And welcome back, everybody. We're tracking several headlines from around the world tonight. Rescue operations underway after a landslide buried homes in Ecuador's region, killing at least 7 people and leaving over 60 missing. Now, heavy machinery removed debris, and rescue workers had to search for survivors in that rubble. Families are desperate, as you can imagine. They use shovels themselves to dig through the mud to search for missing loved ones. Also, there's a fatal bus crash in Saudi Arabia. This was in the southwestern region there, and it killed 20 people and injured 29 others. And local state TV says it's believed to be a technical issue with the bus that led to the crash. The crash occurred during the first week of Ramadan, when the faithful fast from dawn to dusk. And then many people travel to enjoy nightly feasts with their family and friends during the Muslim holy month. And sporting, I should say, red jerseys and those matching cleats. I love this story. The grannies of a South African soccer team jumped for joy as one of their own scored a goal. It was a deciding goal against another team visiting from the United States. And what you're seeing here is the first day of Granny's International Football Tournament. It's made up of women aged 55 and older. The 4-day tournament saw 32 teams compete, including 9 from South Africa and 23 from abroad. And also tonight, a secretive far-right group started in the late 1950s called the John Birch Society says it's aimed at bringing about less government and more responsibility, also aimed at restoring the republic. And that's according to the vision of the Founding Fathers. Now, our next guest argues the ideals of the Birch Society have influenced today's Republican Party and the rise of former President Donald Trump. Historian and professor at George Washington University, Matthew Dallek, is the author of the new book, Birchers, How the John Birch Society Radicalized the American Right. Matthew, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We appreciate your time. And look, you write that the Birch Society has gained and lost influence over time, but that in the past, the GOP sort of catered to their agenda, but hoped to kind of contain them to the fringe. So tell me, in your opinion, what beliefs do you consider to be so fringe here? And then why do you think the Republican establishment has entertained those ideas?
Well, I think the fringe beliefs were and are isolationism, a kind of anti-interventionism versus internationalism, a more explicit racism, the conspiracy theories, and a more violent, apocalyptic, anti-establishment mode of politics. Also, at times, a hardline culture war. Those ideas, there are other ideas as well, but I think that those were the core beliefs that the Birchers promulgated. And those ideas, I think, were picked up by successors to the society through the decades. In terms of the GOP mandarins, I argue that they attempted to woo the fringe during campaigns in particular. They wanted their energy, the money, and the votes, but they also did not want to embrace full-heartedly all of their ideas.
So you actually said in the book, right, that they wanted the money and the energy, but not the taint that you spoke about, right? You also write that the Birch Society believed that popular Democratic representation could slip into the tyranny of the majority, and that their ideas had been exiled to the margins, and it was time for them to take their country back. Now, this was a movement in the 50s, but do you make a parallel there with what led up to the January 6th attacks on the Capitol?
Well, look, you don't want to overdo these analogies, of course, because there are so many differences between now and then. But there are broad themes that I think unite the far right, so to speak, both in the 1950s and today. Part of it is the rhetoric, the sort of language of violence, the language of taking your country back. There's, I think, a white Christian, primarily, identity. Issues of conspiracy theories, of course, election denialism, the idea that Trump pushed that there was a massive conspiracy to defraud the voters and that the election was stolen. You know, it does hark back to, and of course the Birchers were not the only ones, but it does hark back to a series of conspiracy theories about what we now consider a deep state.
In your opinion, do you give the Birch Society any credit for their ability to mobilize vote in big numbers. It's something we sort of see, too, with some young Republicans happening right now. Were some of their tactics really effective?
Well, the Birch Society was very effective, and actually I give them a lot of credit for innovating on the far right, for showing, for example, how one can make a cross-class alliance among super wealthy elites, upwardly mobile middle class, primarily white Americans, and some working class and evangelical supporters. One big difference, I think, tactically, is that the Birchers, at the end of the day, as savvy as they were not as sophisticated as MAGA is today. And they never had the kind of course, authority or control or establishment, in a sense, feel over the Republican Party. So I see MAGA today as a much more politically effective and tactically savvy, with a lot more support electorally and financially than the Birchers ever had.
All right, that's really interesting there. Matthew Dallek, our thanks to you for joining us tonight. And his new book, Birchers, How the John Birch Society Radicalized the American Right, is available now wherever books are sold. And still to come here tonight, a classic children's show gets their first black female puppeteer. We'll bring you that report, and we'll tell you how the barrier-breaking puppeteer is bringing smiles to children's faces.
What is artificial intelligence?
That kind of rocked my world for a little bit.
It's 100 times more powerful than even the social media.
Does it have a soul?
This is about our vulnerability.
It feels like she's a real person when I talk to her.
What was it like saying I love you for the first time? You describe actually getting intimate and how amazing it felt for you.
Yeah.
The AI Revolution. Impact by Nightline. Now streaming on Hulu. With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. Right now in America, with so much at stake, thank you for making ABC's This Week America's #1 news and politics show on Sunday mornings.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
Yeah. So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
All right, let's talk history on Sesame Street. A young woman from Ohio has joined the classic children's show as their first black female puppeteer. And our reporter, Jasmine Stiles, from our partner station, WCPO in Cincinnati, has her story in tonight's Local Lowdown.
Working on Sesame Street is literally like walking into a dream.
Megan Pfeiffer's Piece's dream took shape in Lincoln Heights. As a way to contribute to a worship ministry at her dad's church.
She printed out these shirts for us that said Zion's Anointed Puppets. So we had T-shirts before we knew how to do puppetry.
After some training and a bit of ambition, it became Pfeiffer's Piece's thing, all the way up to graduation day at Princeton High School.
My teachers, specifically the principal, ran up on me in the hallway and said, Maggie, you know you're doing your speech with the puppet, right? I became known as the valedictorian ventriloquist.
But now you might know her as Gabrielle, the spunky and sassy 6-year-old on Sesame Street.
I was just talking about how much I love animals.
Gabrielle is super confident in who she is, and she loves her community and everyone in it. But also what's special about Gabrielle is that she's a Black girl. So that means that she has a different experience of her world on Sesame Street.
Whether it's talking to friends about the family mac and cheese recipe or recounting the trying process of wash day, Pfeiffer's Piece is allowing little Black girls to see more of themselves in a popular TV show.
I would encourage young girls to always have an openness to learning something new, even if there is no one that looks like you that does it. If you have the heart to learn and the drive, you could be the first.
That was a great story, and our thanks to Jasmine Stiles for sharing it with us. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Kana Whitworth. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. And you can always find us on Hulu, the ABC News app, and of course, on abcnews.com.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families